Good morning, my brothers and sisters in the Lord.
Good morning, Lord.
To be a leader is different from being on the altar of the Lord, and that is where I am this morning. So I give God the glory that the second pastor was able to pray for courage and confidence, and that empowered me. Thank you very much. I am a little selfish with the pictures on the slide this morning because it's showing only me, not the whole family. The first picture there, the one in straight black and white, that's Jane at the age of 3. And the other is a classroom and one small little girl there in the picture if it's enlarged. The one below is Jane in Romania, and I will explain what took place there. My name is Jane, as you already heard, Ada Ndem, Mrs. I'm a Nigerian from Africa, West Africa, Benue State, a middle belt part of Nigeria. I'm a mother, I'm a wife. I said I'm a little selfish because the picture would have showed my parents, my brothers and sisters, my husband, my children, and my grandchildren. But since I'm talking about me, Jane, that's why I decided not to put everybody to confuse you. I said earlier I'm a wife, I'm an officer, I'm a sister, I'm a grandmother, and a mother too. Today is exactly 60 years that I came into the world through my parents. So I'm 60 years old today. Thank you. I'm happy to have great family. When people celebrate birthdays, some celebrate with very few, but I have a great family here. And I'm proud of all of you. I was born into the family of Mr. Peter Eka and Mrs. Margaret Eka. They are both devoted Christians. They both passed away in 2003 and 2014 respectively. And to give you a greater picture of how we live long in my family, my grandmom from my mother's side, she passed away last week at the age of 115. And I tap into that, and I wish everyone here long life in the mighty name of Jesus. I'm yet to go for her burial, but that is to tell you what God has been doing for my family. We live very long, and I believe I will live very long. My father was an education officer, and my mother a housewife and a seamstress. I was born into the family of 9. My mother had 11, but 9 survived early birth, and I'm the second in the family and the first daughter. I have 4 other boys and other girls, 3 other girls and 5 other boys as my siblings. Having parents that are both Christians, I grew up in a Christian home. And growing up in a Christian home means prayers, fellowship, going to church every Sunday. Everything to do is God, God, God in your life. My daddy follows the rules strictly. You must pray in the morning, pray in the afternoon, pray in the evening, once he's around. My daddy was an easygoing person who loved his family so much, and he extended that to others. So we grew up having so many people in the family that are not related to us, but we are living in the same house. And that large family thing is what I'm enjoying today, because anywhere I go and I meet crowd, I fit in. Because I grew up in a big population where you have up to 15 kids growing up in the same house, not from same parents. We are used to that. And my mother, an easygoing woman, she never bothered. She accepted every child as her child. And my mom is an only child of her father, because the daddy lost about 23 kids from his first wives, and it was like there is no need to have more babies, but he was a traditionalist, a leader in his community, a great dancer. So he needed somebody who will lead him out when he's coming out to perform. So he took this beautiful young woman that is a widow with 2 other kids, and that's my grandmom that just died last week. So my mother came in when my grandmother was already over 40 years of age, almost reaching the end of her childbearing age. So my mother came as a golden child, an unexpected child, like her name Onwa in my language means I am not expecting this. So they were all very careful bringing her up, since the other kids already passed away before her from the other wives. So she grew up with her own auntie, that's the younger sister to the mom, and that is another family. Part of that family too became our own family. I said earlier that my father is an easygoing person, very kind, caring, tender. But in the case of my mom, she is a disciplinarian. When you dare not hurt her, because she will not spare the pain on you. And I discovered that really helped most of us too in life, because kids, they have ways of doing things, playing tricks. But when you have a mom that the moment your thought goes to, if I do this, it will not go down well, you'll be more careful. So her ways of disciplining also helped me, and that made me grow up as a straightforward child, very humble child, very careful not to make mistakes, because you will always be thinking of, if I do this, what will my mother do when I get back? As an only child, like I said earlier about my mom, she was not allowed to complete her secondary school education. After the primary school, when she was in her first year in the secondary school, the father removed her from school and gave her out for early marriage. The fear being that educated girls don't get married, don't bear children, they don't listen to men when men are talking. This is the reason why she got married early and never completed her secondary school education. As a result, at the age of 18, she already had my elder brother and myself. So around the age of 15, she was already married, which these days we will call child abuse and all that, but their time it was very okay. When I was growing up as a child, I started the primary school very early at the age of our own time, 6 years. It's very early, because you will be forced to measure your age by putting your hand across your head, and if your hand cannot touch the other side of the ear, you are not old enough to start primary school. My own case, I was tiny. It was not reaching, you can see it's still not reaching properly. But I had a wonderful teacher working under my dad as an education officer, who saw the brightness in me and insisted, no, I must go to school. So I started at the age of 6, the smallest in the class, but it didn't bother me. And when I finished, as a small child, I thought I would become a nurse. Probably because of the way they care for patients in the hospital and their uniform. In my country, nurses wear white. So I just love it, white. Oh, I'm going to be a nurse. But one day, a nurse visited my mom and was complaining of night duty, not sleeping, attending to patients, and I love my sleep, I don't want to be a nurse again. So I gave up the idea from early age. As well as when I was growing up, I learned if you're a nurse, you cannot go to university, because there was nothing like BSc nursing in Nigerian schools then. And I love the academic part. I always see people wear it when they are graduating, doing their matriculation and convocation. So I said, if I become a nurse, then I will never wear it. So it's part of why I also gave up that I didn't want to be a nurse. But now you have universities in Nigeria, in Africa, offering BSc nursing, and you can take it to every level of your education. One wonderful memory I have of my dad is he's always talking of girls' education. Probably because the wife is not educated enough to assist with providing for the family financially. But the major part of it is that he taught us that the key to women's success is education. So my dad trained all his kids, boys and girls, to be educated. Not just educated, highly educated. And he encouraged people in his community to ensure that girls go to school. In Africa, where I come from, they prefer boys. When you have a boy, you celebrate. You call your friends, you drink, you celebrate boys. But when you have girls, it's like, oh. But that used to be then. Now it's not the case because we have so many prominent ladies, women now in our society. So at that age, at that early stage, I'm still so happy that my dad was able to train us, not minding what sex the child is. As far as a child, he's very happy with you. And he will encourage you to do what boys do without minding that you are of the weaker sex that they used to say. So as a result, we were treated equally. I had my early baptism as a very young child. I was very active in the church. I wasn't good in singing, but I was always there to sweep the hall, to arrange chairs. I will always encourage people, and one gift that God gave me earlier in life is smile. Even when I'm in pain, you will never know. I'll give you a very beautiful smile. So anytime I meet people in the church, I give them the smile. So I was very active in my community in the church. Having studied, I did my secondary school far away from school, but from my town, very far, up to 1,000 kilometers away. And in a Muslim community, majority of us were Muslims. The majority of the children are Muslims, and still that did not affect my Christian life. I still go to church, and I still pray, and I still remember to do those good things that my parents taught me I should do. Be kind to people, respect your elders, don't make enemies, make more friends, though you cannot please everybody, and any moment, anybody I meet, I will try to come close. If you accept me, we'll continue. If you do not, I will still be praying that you accept me. So I ended up all my life praying more for people than for myself, so that I will be loved, so that they will not have problem, because I believe without challenge, you have no reason to hate anybody. So I always pray. If I meet you and you don't accept me, you don't welcome me close, I will pray for whatever the obstacle is, for God to break it, for you to come out of it. From the secondary school, I went to a higher school in my own community, far away again, but in my own community this time. And because I was coming from a different secondary school, I had few friends, in fact no friend, when I went to my higher school. No schoolmates. I went to a girls' school, and I came to my higher school, which is co-educational boys. And I came from a Muslim community, so it was very, very difficult for me. When I come into the class, I can't sit near boys. When I enter the cafeteria, I can't queue up. When boys are on the queue, I'll withdraw. If I'm on the queue and the boy comes behind me, I'll get out of the queue. I grew up in the secondary school where the uniform used to be the head tie, the blouse, the wrapper. And I came to a higher school where people wear clothes the way they want. So I didn't fit in. I was a stranger in a different community, though in my own area, but I was still a stranger. It affected my Christian life a little, because I was like, oh, why did you bring me here? You don't like me, you don't love me, why am I in this environment? And that pushed me. I started drinking to gain confidence. Not to get drunk, but somebody who grew up in a home where there is nothing to do with alcohol, I started tasting alcohol. When I drink, I come to the class, I have the confidence to sit among men, among boys, to answer questions in the class. Before then, I would just sit down in the class, I will not talk to anybody. That affected my life, but when I get back home, I'll pretend to my parents like I'm still that good Jane, and I'll still follow them to church, but the higher school affected my life. Same thing went on till I also got to the university. Initially, I wanted to read law, and unfortunately, I did not get the admission to read law. I was given B.Ed education, which I never wanted, because my daddy already an education officer. I wanted something different, and I'm given another line of education. I also came to the class and I saw that the classmates were my daddy's age, my mother's age, teachers and that. So I felt this is not where I belong. So I left the first university, ran to another town, to another university where my uncle was a dean of the faculty of one of the courses. I lied to him that I did not get admission. He said, "No, Jane, I saw your name." I said, "No, it's not me." Luckily, they assisted. I got admission to read political science, which I wanted. I thought university was going to be different from my high school. Things would change, but I got there and I saw a different, in fact, worse than what I left. The way of dressing, partying, clubbing, coming from a Christian home is a bad thing to us. That you are drinking, that you go to a club, that you wear clothes that expose your body. So it was a difficult moment again in my life. And since I came from a school where, I came from the secondary school where I don't have girlfriends, I came again to another environment, no girlfriends. The only option was I became very close to my cousins' boys. And I never fitted in. Because I'm coming there in my body well covered, they are there in their trousers, which I never use. So it affected again my life. I didn't stop drinking. I'm forced to go to parties with them. And to the glory of God, I still succeeded in passing out of the university with good grades. It's not by my making, it's God, because the life I went into, I never loved it. But I will always go on my knees and pray in the room and say, "God, please, put me in the right place. I don't belong here." And I kept reminding myself that I never belonged to that society. These days, dressing doesn't matter, but our time and from the home I came from, I'm talking of 60 years back, it's a long time. There are so many things that a student is not supposed to do in my society. But I met all those along the line as I was growing up. After graduating, I went on my 1-year National Youth Service, which is mandatory in my country. And during that period is another period where your children now become adults, because you are now going to live on your own, earn your own salary, use it as you want, and I call it the beginning of your adulthood, or what you call it. And I discovered that most National Youth Service corps, they live wild life, because this is when you now earn your money, you decide how to use it. I felt, what do I do so that I go back to the Christian life I've always known myself to be? So I decided to pick two of my siblings, two of my younger brothers, because I have more brothers than sisters. One was about 8, the other was going to 6. I took the 2 kids far away from my parents. I begged them and I told them why I needed the children. They allowed me to take them. I also was around 21 years of age, and here I am with 2 little kids. Some thought they were my kids, but they were my younger ones. I took them with me. 1, to keep myself busy so that I will not be lonely. 2, to avoid going to parties, because when you invite me for parties, I say, where do I keep these little kids? So I use that as a way to block friends from inviting me for night parties and all of that. Well, the 2 little kids I took, one is in Nigeria working, the other one is still here with me in Romania. He worships in the church here with me. He's Mr. Ben. So we're always together. And though while we were there, because it was still in the northern part of Nigeria, the Muslim community, the population was small, we were not going to church, but we were living a life for God. We still come together to pray. We still worship on Sunday in the house because we couldn't go out freely. We're still having good relationship with our neighbors. My younger ones were helping the landlord to take care of his cow, sheep, like the little shepherd boys. So we're still loving the community even though we were not going to church because of the environment we met ourselves. Along the line during that youth service, I work in an office where every last weekend of the month I have to travel far away to the former city, Lagos, to attend meetings on behalf of my office. And with two little kids, first with the assignment of having to travel and leave them every end of the month. I had to come close to a girl from my own part of the country, and every time I'm traveling, I'll go and leave my two little brothers with her from Thursday to Sunday when I'll get back. And one of those trips, little did I know that when I travel, my friend will leave my little brothers with her flatmates. I didn't know. So one of the days I went on the trip and I came back and met my little brothers with someone else, a flatmate to the girl. I took my brothers, we got home and they were not very comfortable, and it was unlike them. Whenever I get back, they are happy to see me, but this very day they were not comfortable, I noticed. So I asked them, what is the problem? The bigger one said, tell sister. The smaller one said, you tell her. So I insisted what the matter was, and they told me the guy who takes care of them in that my friend's house was not feeling fine. And I was, okay, let's rest. Tomorrow we can go and check. They insisted we must go that night. This was around 8 p.m. So we still came out, we went down, we met the gentleman who takes care of them in my absence to be very sick. He was down with malaria. And I assisted, we took him to the chemist, he was treated, and my brother still insisted we must come to our house with him. I was having a room and 2 rooms. I sleep in one room, my brother stay in the other room. So how do I bring in a stranger, a man, into the house? I just couldn't understand. But they insisted, and since I didn't want to hurt the little kids, I accepted and came to the house with the same youth copper, the gentleman. To the glory of God, that copper is my husband today. And he was so helpful. My brothers told me whenever I travel, they are with him. He takes them out to play football, buy them gifts, and that my friend was never there for them. And I didn't know. So we became friends. We visit him, he visits anytime I'm traveling. I had no fear of where to leave the 2 little boys. I just take them to his house, and I come back and I take them from there. When I finished the service, after 1 year of the National Youth Service, we left together. My office gave me a vehicle, so we left. I dropped in my place, and he proceeded to his place, and we never saw again after the 1 year service. But we were friends, we were not communicating, but the communication ended. I waited after I got back home, back to my Christian family life, but I had no job. And I finished my service, I had my certificate, my degree in my hand, the service certificate, but no job. And one time there was an advertisement, I went to my state capital, like coming from Constanța to Bulgaria to Romania, for example, and to Bucharest, sorry. And the job that was advertised, I was very fit for the job, but I came and the recruiting officer said, no, Jane, go to the federal capital, or the Lagos state, and get a job. You cannot work in the state. I felt very bad. I was so angry with him. He gave me a ride to the park and gave me transport money to go back to my place and go to the federal capital then, Lagos, to look for a job that I don't fit in the state. Then I didn't forgive him, but that led me to where I am. And I forgave him when I realized God used him to take me up. I left my parents when I got back home. I told them the advice from the gentleman that I should go and look for job elsewhere. And I got to a new place altogether. I had the address of one of the girls I met in my university who was supposed to be a wife to a cousin. That was the only address I knew. I went to her place. She was already working, and her office gave her a room in the hotel. So I got there, got her address. She came, received me, but I realized we were about 5 ladies staying in one room with her in the hotel. My prayer life, my Christian life, they never loved it. So after managing, struggling for 3 months, she threw me out one morning. When she was going to the office, she left a message on the table. Please leave my house, Jane. And I usually wake up in the morning, clean the room for them, even though it's a hotel where the tenants will come and work. But after my shower, I came and I saw the note. Jane, please leave my house. This is very far from my parents. I knew no other person. And the first thing that came was big tears rolled down. Where do I go? Then I remember, are you not a believer, Jane? When God wants to bless Abraham, he asked him to leave his father's land. For me to leave my father's presence, my parents' presence, and I'm here. And somebody again is telling me leave. It means I'm going somewhere. And immediately I got the courage. And I picked my bag. I came out. But when I came to the road, I realized, where am I going? I had nowhere to go. And this was about 4 p.m. Because I waited from 8 a.m. when I got the note. I didn't know where to go. Up to 4 p.m. She was still in the office, that I came out of her room. And I was waiting. The only option was maybe one man will pass by and pick me. I waited for 2 hours and nobody came. Then I remembered. Back home, I have an uncle who gave me an address and said I could come to Lagos and stay with him. What do I do? Can I find the address? And I remember, yes, I have the address in my diary. So I picked my diary, read the address, and took a taxi there. And behold, to the glory of God, my uncle was not around, but there was a message left for me that when Jane turns up, give her the key to the house. I was pushed out of one room to a 3-bedroom furnished house. 3-bedroom furnished, well furnished. When I mean well furnished in Nigeria, well furnished with a car in front for me to use if I wish to. I had no job, but God gave me the 3-bedroom, well furnished with everything ready, food, drinks, everything was in the house. When the landlady came down and said, "Are you Jane?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, your uncle has been waiting. The key is here. Stay." And I took the key. I went into the house. And I was like, is it me? This is a better place. So why have I been wasting my time for 3 months? I had nowhere. I was squatting, suffering myself. And overnight, I got the job. I got a house. Then the next thing is, I have a house, but I have no job. So what do I do? And again, I went down on my knees. First of all, I thank God for always being there for me. And I pleaded with him to grant me the grace to know him more. That was my prayer point that night. Because I now have a house. I even want people to come and live with me now. I'm no more sporting with others. But I have no job. But when I went to God in prayers, in the night, it was like a miracle. I found myself so comfortable. I didn't even know how I'm going to feed myself yet, but I was already very comfortable. And at about 5:30 a.m., like someone woke me up and said, "Go into the city." Already in Lagos. I mean, Papa, for those that know Lagos, where again is the city? I just woke up hurriedly, showered, got myself ready. I wore my best, even though I was jobless. I wore my best dress. And I said, God, the first taxi I'm going to take, let it lead me to that part of the world where God wants me to go. So immediately, I came to the road. The taxi mentioned somewhere CMS in Lagos. And I entered. As I was coming out to town, for it's a journey of about, when there's hold up, it takes up to 1 hour. But without hold up, it will be about 30 minutes. And immediately I came out from the taxi, I met someone I knew in my high school. We used to say hello, hello, and that was fun. He saw me, he said, wow, Jane, you are looking good. Where are you working? I smiled again and I said, I am jobless. He said, I can't believe it. I said, I'm jobless. He said, come, join me, follow me to my office. And I went with him to his office. He was an immigration officer working in a Blackburn close, for those that know my country well. When we got to the office, he said, why are you not working? I said, because I have no job. I have my certificate, and he's like, they are recruiting. Do you know anybody who can assist you? I said, I have God. He said, good, I love your confidence. Go to the federal secretariat, they are recruiting. Go and look for your state commissioner. And I didn't even know, but he pointed to one direction, so I came out. I said, I'll see you later. I went to the federal secretariat and located where I was supposed to be, and I took number 22 on the waiting list to see the commissioner for recruitment. Somebody I don't know, but I was there. And at that stage, the only prayer I could make was, God, I'm in your hands. And the first person went in when the commissioner came, and the second person was like, Jane, Jane, Jane. And I took number 22, but they were Jane, Jane, and I still sat down because I know I came very far behind. So it can never be my Jane. And they mentioned my full name, and I said, yes, we've been calling you, why are you sitting? Oh, I didn't know. I couldn't say I took number 22. I said, oh, the lady, the secretary asked me to go in, and I walked into the office of the commissioner. The next thing was, where have you been all these months? So I looked back, because I was sure the man was not talking to me. He doesn't know me, so how can he be asking me where have I been all this months? And when I look back, I didn't see anybody. So I say, sir, we've been looking for you. This is November, and you have your appointment letter since September. Where have you been? I did like this. I said, September? I said, yes. He mentioned my name. Are you not Jane Ada Ndem? I said, yes, sir. He said, so what happened? Anyway, take the letter, give to my secretary to change the date to today, because you are coming 3 months, almost 3 months late. I was trembling. I took the letter, I gave it to the secretary, they changed the date, and that date was 21st of November, 1983. I got my job. After suffering, running around, not having hope, God gave me a job. A day after I got a 3-bedroom flat, I got a job. I was trembling. I came out. He came, the recruiting officer followed me and said, go and report immediately. Because I didn't even know. I was holding the envelope. I didn't know the office. And I stood there confused. He said, come to my office. I came back into the office. He said, please don't show others that I've given you appointment, because they are all waiting for the same letter you are carrying in your hand. I couldn't ask him, how did I get this job? It was in the time when I was going to report that I remember when I was doing the 1-year National Youth Service. I attended one interview, civil service interview. So the result of that interview, far away, is what I got the answer today. After 1 year, is what I got the answer. So I said, okay, it could be that interview, because I can't remember ever seeing this man. So how did I get the job? It's the Lord's doing. Praise God. And in that panicking state, I still went back to the office of the gentleman that directed me there. I went to him, I thanked him, and I told him I've gotten the job. He said, how? I gave him. He said, how? I told him the whole story about how the job came. He said, okay, go immediately and report. In every situation in life, there are challenges. I want you to know. The day I was born into this world, on the 24th of November 1959, I came out without crying. For the medical doctors, they will tell you after some hours the baby will die. So I came out without crying. So I came into the world with a challenge. It took the medical personnel more than 2-3 hours. Then they will turn the baby upside down, they will slap the back, they will do everything to make sure the baby cries. I did it. And in my own community, so many years back, we had stories that once you are born and you are not crying, they will bury the baby alive. But to the glory of God, it was not my time. So when they tried and nothing worked, they gave me an injection. I still have the mark here. So it was over 2 hours before I started weeping, opening my lungs like the medical people will say. So I came with challenge. Now I got my job. Between the office and my office where I'm to report, I lost my appointment letter. That is another challenge. Something that God gave me with all his heart, I lost it. So when I got to the office and they were asking me to register, where is your appointment letter? I opened my bag, I could not see it. So where do I start from? I said, God, you will have to find solution to this. That was all I could say. And to the glory of God, I found the copy for the office, not the copy for me. So it is the copy for the office I am using till today. The one that was meant for me, the devil stole it the day I got that job. But I still came and reported. And started job that day. They opened the file for me and I continued that way. Some months after, I ran into the Andy that I met 1 year ago, that we became friends. And we got married in 1986. I started job after 3 years. I ran into him after 1 year. We were friends for some years. And I got married in 1986. My marriage too was not easy. When I went for the introduction, because we have stages in doing marriage in my country, you have to do introduction, that is taking the man home to know your parents. Then you go to pay the dowry, after which you do your Christian wedding. When we went for the introduction on our way back, we had a ghastly motor accident. The scar you have here used to be very deep and wide. The scar on my face. It was as a result of that accident. One of the occupants in the vehicle died 3 days after. The other one was paralyzed from the day of the accident and died a year after. The owner of the vehicle, a naval officer, died some years after as a result of the brain tumor. So the only 2 occupants in that vehicle that are alive today to the glory of God is myself and my husband. The others are known. So you can imagine even at marriage, there was an accidental challenge. So immediately after we left, the thing was, my in-laws was, it is a bad omen for you to want to go and marry and you have an accident. So my husband was being discouraged from going into the marriage. But he insisted. He said, no, that's the child of God. The accident is not her fault. If God wants us to be together, we'll continue together. And he still went ahead and we got married. And after my marriage, it was one miscarriage after the other. The first was twins at the age of 6 months pregnancy. I love them. 4, 5 miscarriages after. Finally, in 1987, on the 17th of November, I had my first child, who is 32 years now, who gave me my grandchildren. So to round it up, there is nothing easy in life. But all along, I have never held grudges towards God or towards anybody. I see anything happening to me as what God determines for my life. And every community I go, I worship with believers. There is one thing to be a Christian and there's another thing to be a believer. A believer are those that take what comes their way the way it is. You cannot change it. It's not. You can never prosper without the devil coming into it. So whatever situation you find yourself, accept it in good faith and keep on giving God the glory. From the 1983 that I joined the service, I've been lucky to the glory of God to have served in so many countries. I've been to so many countries. In 1988 to 1992, I served in my embassy in the Republic of Ireland. I was there for 4 years. And normally in my service, after you finish your posting abroad, you come back to your ministry and work, and after sometimes you get posting again. So far, I have worked also in my embassy in Morocco for 2 years. I worked in my embassy in Egypt for 3 years. I served in Japan for 3.5 years. I was in Sweden for 3 years, and after Sweden, I was posted to Romania as Nigerian ambassador to Romania. And that is the last picture there when I was presenting my letter to the president of Romania as Nigerian ambassador, accredited to Romania and with concurrent accreditation to Bulgaria and Slovenia. And that is what I am still doing to date. And by the grace of God, I will still be there till the Lord determines when I leave, and not man. When I was departing from Sweden on the 28th of August in 2017 to report in Romania, I asked God to lead me to meet with people I will fellowship with, good officers that I will work with, and not to send me where I will begin to struggle all over. And to His glory, I came on arrival on that 28th of August 2017. I was received by the host protocol officers and 8 other ambassadors. The 8 other ambassadors is usual for ambassadors of your continent to receive you. But to my greatest surprise, 8 ambassadors from Africa came to receive me, and 1 from the Middle East, Lebanon, was among them. So, I know Nigerians are very good people, and I decided to join the African ambassadors to receive you. And officers from my office, they were wonderful. They were at the airport, they received me. And after I got to my hotel, the first thing that came to my mind is, Father, I thank you for this, but I want to worship where I will have believers. And the next Sunday, I Googled it and I saw the church name and I took a taxi here. So I've been worshiping here since September because I arrived on the 28th of August. I've been worshiping in this church since September of 2017. I have a very tight schedule. I would have loved to do more than what I'm doing, to be in the cell group, the different groups, join the different sections. But because if I promise and I don't fulfill, I always feel very bad. So the only retreat I attended was once when the women group traveled and I went with them. And the last one that the whole family traveled and we went. I would have loved to do more, but I assure you that even when I'm not there physically, that power that God gave to me, prayers, I pray for every situation in the life of everybody in this congregation. The daddy in this church, Pastor Bill and his family, they are wonderful, the wife and children. The second pastor and all the elders of the church, they are wonderful because any day I don't come to church, they remember. When they see me the next day, the next Sunday, it's like, we didn't see you last week. So I feel very important that even when I'm not there, somebody remember my absence. And when they see me, they are happy. I don't give anything, but all I give, I know, is my prayers and my smile, which I don't lack. My brothers and sisters in the Lord, I want to encourage you not to relent in your walk or trust in God. Never use negative words for yourself or for anybody. For those that have children, it's common in where I come from. You see your child in the morning, you say, you are very stupid, please don't use it because there is power in tongue. Always use positive words for yourself and for everybody. Coming up, I didn't know I would be where I am because I came from a little background, not very rich home. If you see the picture there in my primary one, none of us wore shoe in that class apart from the teacher in our midst. I didn't know if somebody stood before me 60 years ago or 55 years ago that Jane, you will go outside Africa, outside Nigeria. I will be telling you, no, you are joking. But to the glory of God, I've traveled, I've met so many people, I've won souls for Christ. And I am praying that my testimony this morning will not just be one of those stories. It will win soul for Christ. It will make one person here know that no matter what situation you find yourself, what God has for you, you will reach there. It doesn't matter accidents, financial challenge, whatever way the devil is fighting, it can't work. Whatever God wants you to be, you will be. Before I conclude, I want to leave 2 verses that I'm so used to in the Bible. Yes, we all know John 3:16. Outside that, I have these powerful verses that I always rely on. They console me as I grow up in my life. They are both in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 20 verse 1 and Deuteronomy 20 verse 4. I will read them. Verse 1 says, when thou goest out to battle against thy enemies, and seest horses and chariots and the people more than thou, do not be afraid of them. For the Lord our God is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And then the verse 4 of Deuteronomy 20. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies. Not just fighting against your enemies, but to save you. These 2 words. When I'm going out, I'm never scared. I'm never bothered of whatever I meet on the way. People sit down and think of tomorrow, what happened? I don't worry myself because I know my tomorrow is guaranteed. I always say, if God made me in his image, then I'm beautifully made. Because my God is not an ugly God. My God is not a poor God. My God is not a sick God. If I am made in his image, then I know I am complete. Before I leave you, I want us to bow our head and thank God for this testimony. Thank you. Please, can we pray? In Jesus' mighty name, Lord, we thank you. We honor your name, we give you glory, we give you adoration. The I am that I am, the great creator, the great provider, the great redeemer. We are here before you this morning, thanking you for each and every member of this congregation. We are coming from different parts of the world, different families, but we are standing for each and every family here present. That whatever challenge that we have, whatever desire that we have, Father, if you did it for me, Jane, you will do it for them. It doesn't matter the name of the sickness. The devil can create. The devil can name it. But because we believe in you and we know you are there for us, and you taught us not to be afraid, that you are there for us to save us, Father, we know we are saved. Father, we all have our different desires. You brought me into the world 60 years ago. You watered, you nurtured, and I am here today, standing on your altar before your children. Father, you did it for me. You will do more for me, and you will do more for everybody in the mighty name of Jesus. Lord, my God, we don't know our tomorrow, but it is guaranteed in your hand. Because you used one word, and there was light. You say we should be the salt and the light of the world.
and you made us in your image. Father, you taught us that we are for signs and wonders, and so shall it be in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, this is a testimony. I pray that it will empower each and every one of us not to relent in our believing in you, not to relent in our prayers, and that as we live here, Lord, we'll be blessed, we'll be favored, we'll be uplifted, and that no enemy in any form can deceive or make us to be afraid of tomorrow. Father, I ask all this through Jesus Christ our Lord.